Plus, one of America's most prominent mayors has lost re-election. Lori Lightfoot failed to make the cut for Chicago's runoff. How big a role did rising crime play in her defeat? Now to Chicago, where the mayor there losing re-election in a race that was dominated by the issue of rising crime. Lori Lightfoot failed to make the cutoff for the runoff. A Democrat who was endorsed by Chicago's police union received nearly double her votes.
I'm grateful that we worked together to remove a record number of guns off our streets, reduced homicides, and started making real progress on public safety.
So under Mayor Lori Lightfoot's watch, violent crime spiked in Chicago. It made national headlines and became a talking point for Republicans and the former president. Shootings and murders dropped last year, but other crimes, including carjackings and robberies, are up. That's according to police.
She was the city's first female black mayor. She was the first openly gay mayor here in Chicago, and now is set to be the first full-term incumbent mayor in 40 years to lose re-election here in Chicago. This comes on the other side of what she described as a once-in-a-lifetime set of challenges from the peak of the pandemic, spikes in gun violence, not just here, but in places across the country as well, civil unrest and more.
Back home, for the first time in more than 30 years, Chicago is saying goodbye to its incumbent mayor. Lori Lightfoot lost her bid for a second term after failing to make the top two in a race of 9 candidates.
So the top 2 vote getters, Paul Vallis, a longtime public schools chief, and Cook County Commissioner Brandon Johnson, they are now headed to an April runoff.
And in Chicago, we are following a once-in-a-generation political upset. Democratic Mayor Lori Lightfoot losing her bid for a second term in yesterday's election. It's the first time in more than 30 years that Chicago residents voted an incumbent mayor out of office.
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot just lost her re-election bid, the city's first incumbent in 40 years to suffer defeat after one term. She garnered only 17% of the vote. Other issues factored in, certainly, but the race is largely seen as a barometer on how Americans feel about crime.